Thursday, October 30th, a quiet day in Salem, until it isn't. The air feels heavier. The smiles feel rehearsed. Everyone senses it, something's coming. A choice will be made, a secret will slip, and one favor will set off a chain reaction that no one can control. Some will fall in love. Some will cross the line. And before the night ends, one deal made in the dark could change everything. Because in Salem, every whisper hides a motive, and every act of kindness hides a cost. Let's dive into the storm, and see who survives it. The episode begins not with chaos, but with quiet. A rare, fragile calm in Salem. Inside the Brady pub, the low hum of conversation fades as the camera focuses on two familiar faces, Jeremy Horton and Amy Driscoll. Outside, rain taps softly against the window. Inside, Amy looks exhausted, not just from sleepless nights, but from the kind of emotional weight that eats away at your soul. Her coffee sits untouched. Her hands tremble slightly. She's trying to speak, but guilt has stolen her voice. Finally, it slips out. A confession about mistakes she can't take back, choices that hurt people she never meant to hurt. Jeremy doesn't interrupt. He doesn't judge. He simply listens. There's something about him, a quiet strength born from loss, a gentleness that feels almost out of place in this town. When Amy finally breaks, whispering, "I just wish I could start over," Jeremy leans forward, his tone calm but steady. "Sometimes," he says, "the only way to move forward is to forgive yourself first." The moment lands like a revelation. Amy exhales, shaky, tearful, but lighter. For the first time in weeks, she looks like she might actually believe she deserves peace. And yet, beneath that fragile healing, something new begins to flicker. When she thanks him and leans in for a hug, the camera doesn't cut away. It lingers, capturing the small, trembling breath Jeremy takes as his arms wrap around her. It's supposed to be comfort. But there's something else there, a spark neither of them expected. Protective, yes. Compassionate, yes. But also something personal and dangerous. Because in Salem, every good deed carries temptation. Could this be the beginning of a new connection, or the start of a heartbreak waiting to happen? For now, it looks innocent. But the way Jeremy's gaze lingers as Amy leaves, it tells a different story. Sometimes, healing one broken heart means breaking another. And sometimes, love is just guilt wearing a softer face. Across town, at Sweet Bits Cafe, the mood shifts, from quiet empathy to emotional unraveling. Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kuriakis sit together in a corner booth, surrounded by the faint glow of warm lights and the soft clinking of dishes. It should feel peaceful, but the silence between them says otherwise. Alex is the first to break it. He's patient, careful, choosing his words like someone walking on glass. "You've been different lately," he says gently. Distant. "What's going on, Stephanie?" Her eyes flicker, the reflex of someone who's spent years pretending to be fine. She tries to smile it away, but the facade cracks. Her fingers tighten around her mug. Her breath shakes. Then, quietly, she starts to speak. She talks about the man she once loved, the one who made her believe in forever, only to vanish without a word. No fight, no warning, just absence, the kind that leaves an echo in every room and a scar on every heartbeat. As she describes it, the camera moves closer, catching every tremor in her voice, every tear she tries to hide. We can feel her loneliness, not the kind that comes from being alone, but from losing faith in love itself. "I built walls," she admits, her voice barely above a whisper. "Because the last time I let someone in, it destroyed me." Alex listens, and for once, his usual confidence fades. He reaches across the table, fingers brushing hers. "I'm not him," he says softly. "I'm not going anywhere." It's a promise that feels real, maybe too real. But the camera tells another story. It pans to Stephanie's face, her eyes searching his, her lips parting as if she wants to believe him, yet can't. The silence between them is filled with memories, of loss, of fear, of the knowledge that love in Salem is never safe. Her confession is meant to be healing, but in this town, vulnerability is currency. One overheard conversation, one misplaced word, and the truth she just shared could become a weapon. Alex means every word he says now, but Salem has a way of testing even the purest promises. And when those promises break, it's never just hearts that shatter, it's trust, loyalty, and sometimes entire families. As the camera fades out, Stephanie looks out the window, her reflection split by the glass, as if even she can't tell which version of herself to believe anymore. Because in days of our lives, the past never stays buried. And the moment you share your pain, someone's already planning how to use it. This is where the episode takes its darkest turn, the calm before the chaos ends, and the real game begins. E.J. DiMera arrives at Kat Green's apartment just after sunset. The lights are low, the air thick with tension. He knocks once, waits, then lets himself in, like a man who never doubts he'll be welcome. Kat stands by the window, arms folded. Her voice is wary, sharp. "What do you want, E.J.?" He smiles, that perfectly measured DiMera smile, equal parts charm and danger. "Just a favor." 2 words. Simple. But in Salem, favor often means one thing: corruption. Kat tilts her head. "With you, that word never ends well." E.J. steps closer, his tone soft but heavy with control. He explains what he needs: a few legal files quietly rearranged. Documents connected to Tony's disappearance and the DiMera laboratory experiments, the ones no one's supposed to know about. Kat's composure falters. Her eyes narrow. "You're asking me to commit a crime." He leans in, close enough that his whisper feels like a threat wrapped in silk. "Not a crime, a family matter. And if you help me, I'll make sure your brother's record disappears. Permanently." The air stills. It's manipulation at its finest, elegant, ruthless, and effective. Because E.J. doesn't yell or threaten. He tempts. He makes damnation sound like mercy. Kat looks away, torn between morality and desperation. She's fought to keep her family clean, but her brother's mistakes still haunt her career. This could fix everything, or destroy it all. Finally, her voice cracks, barely audible. "Fine, I'll do it, but if this blows up, it's on you." E.J. straightens, smoothing his jacket with that signature DiMera arrogance. "Oh, Kat," he murmurs, that sinister grin spreading. "In this town, nothing ever blows up on me." But as he leaves, the camera pans upward, revealing a tiny red light blinking behind a bookshelf. A hidden recorder. Active. Someone's been listening the entire time. Every word, every threat, every promise, captured. And whoever holds that recording now owns them both. It's not just a favor anymore. It's leverage. And in the DiMera world, leverage is more dangerous than blood. This, right here, is the moment Salem shifts. When a single whispered favor becomes the spark that reignites the DiMera war. Because when E.J. plays God, someone always ends up buried like a devil. But while shadows gather in one corner of Salem, another scene unfolds, soft, quiet, almost dreamlike. In Horton Town Square, the Halloween decorations still hang, faded streamers, flickering lights, the last traces of joy after the chaos. And there, under the amber glow, Johnny DiMera waits. He's not the confident filmmaker tonight. He's just a man, nervous, hopeful, and holding on to a second chance he's not sure he deserves. Chanel Dupree arrives, her footsteps hesitant but curious. The moment their eyes meet, it's like time rewinds, back to when love was simple, before lies, before distance, before DiMera schemes ruined everything. Johnny smiles softly. "We've been through worse, haven't we?" Chanel lets out a small laugh, the first one in weeks. It's genuine, fragile, beautiful. "I don't know, Johnny. Lately, it feels like worse has been following us around." He steps closer, his voice low, vulnerable. "Maybe, but I'm tired of running from it. From us." There's no grand music, no sweeping gestures, just raw emotion, the kind that fills silence more powerfully than words ever could. Johnny admits what fans have suspected for weeks. He's been distant not out of indifference, but fear. Fear of breaking her again. Fear of repeating his father's mistakes. But tonight, he's done hiding. Chanel looks up, her eyes reflecting the lights above. And what happens if we try again, and it still falls apart? Johnny takes her hand, gently, firmly. Then at least we'll know we didn't give up. For a moment, it feels like the whole world stops to breathe with them. Their fingers interlace, their smiles tremble with hope. It's not a perfect reconciliation, but in Salem, perfection is a myth. This is human. They start walking beneath the twinkling lights, hand in hand. The wind picks up, rustling leaves across the square. It's peaceful, almost too peaceful. And then, the shift. The camera moves. A figure lurks behind the trees, barely visible, but watching. Waiting. The faint reflection of a phone lens catches the light, recording them. Whoever it is, they're not here for romance. They're here for information. Johnny and Chanel's love story, once again, has found its way into someone else's scheme. And when EJ's secret deal with Kat comes to light, when that recording falls into the wrong hands, this quiet, hopeful night could be the beginning of another heartbreak. Because in Salem, love doesn't save you. It exposes you. And happiness? It's just the calm before someone decides to set your world on fire. As they walk off into the night, unaware of the eyes on them, a single line echoes in the narrator's voice, in Salem, even peace comes with a price tag. And tonight, someone's already paid the deposit. By the end of Thursday's episode, Salem stands on the edge of chaos once more. Jeremy's compassion could lead to heartbreak. Stephanie's confession could turn into betrayal. Johnny and Chanel's peace might vanish overnight. And EJ? He's playing with fire, and doesn't even realize the match has already been lit. As the clock ticks toward Halloween night, ghosts, both literal and emotional, are preparing to rise. Because in days of our lives, nothing given is ever truly free. Every favor carries a price. Every secret finds its way to light. And before the week ends, someone will pay, in blood, loyalty, or love. So what do you think, Days fans? Will Kat regret helping EJ? Can Stephanie and Alex survive when the past comes knocking? And who's the shadow watching Johnny and Chanel's reunion? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like if you love Salem's madness, and subscribe for your daily dose of Demera drama. Because next week, Salem's nightmare is only beginning.